Welcome back to Urban Legend Hunter. Tonight's story deals with the legend of giant Appalachian cave spiders. Now let's get into it. Every year, thousands of people set up camp in the Appalachian backwoods. It's one of the most remote regions in America, stretching across hundreds of miles, riddled with caves, abandoned mines, and endless forests. And every year, a percentage of those people come back with stories they can't explain. They don't talk about bears or snakes. What they describe are webs, enormous webs, strung across the trees, webs draped across cave openings, and sometimes, inside them, small animals wrapped so tightly they look like they've been vacuum sealed. For most people, that's disturbing enough, but others say what they've seen built them? Spiders, the size of dogs hiding in the cracks of the Appalachian Mountains. Now, this idea isn't new. Records going back to the 1800s from coal mining towns in West Virginia and eastern Kentucky mention it. Men working underground, and they swore they saw webs stretch across the shafts with creatures inside them. Some miners refused to go back down, and even some of those reports are more than 100 years old. Back then, though, it was easy to dismiss them as fear, bad air, or just exhaustion. Miners hallucinated down there. They drank heavily. They imagined things in the dark. But the same details show up again and again. Thick webbing, tunnels sealed off, and the sense something was living deeper in the mines. When the coal industry collapsed, many of those mines were sealed or abandoned. And that's when the stories began to shift. Hikers, spelunkers, and campers exploring the mountains started claiming they'd seen the same thing. Webs where there shouldn't be webs. In 2004, a team of cavers mapping a system in Virginia reported hearing movement overhead. Heavy movement. And when they shined their lights up, they found strands of webbing, thick as rope, stretching across the rock ceiling. They backed out, leaving the cave uncharted. In 2011, campers outside Boone, North Carolina, woke to the sound of branches breaking near their tents. One of them stepped out with a flashlight. The beam caught something low to the ground. Two reflective eyes about the size of a large dog. Behind it, stretching back into the trees, was a strand of silk, thicker than a finger. That man left everything. His tent, his cooler, even his car keys. He ran barefoot until he reached the main road. A passing driver found him an hour later, and he refused to go back to recover his gear. When he asked him what he thought he saw, his answer was simple. Animals don't leave rope hanging from trees. So where would something like this come from? One theory is that they've always been there. Isolated pockets of giant arachnids that rarely surface. The Appalachians are ancient, with cave systems that stretch for miles underground. Entire ecosystems exist down there that no human has ever really fully explored. Another explanation is darker. For over a century, coal mining filled those mountains with toxins, mercury, arsenic, acid runoff, generations of chemicals seeping into the rock and water. Some biologists point to Chernobyl, where animals near the blast site mutated to survive. If radiation can alter wildlife, why not chemicals buried deep in the Appalachians? And if those creatures lived underground, chemical exposure might not have killed them. It might have changed them. The stories are impossible to prove. No photographs, and the ones that do exist are just blurry. No bodies, just eyewitnesses, miners, hikers, campers. They all just describe the same details. And every fall, when the campers flood back into the mountains, the warnings start again. Don't go near the caves after dark. Don't follow strands of silk deeper into the trees. Because the people who claim they've seen these spiders can all agree on one thing. The webs weren't empty. Something was waiting inside of them.